evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's Word on Wednesday. Today we're going to carry on reading a bit of the book of Genesis, not very much. Last week we looked at Genesis chapter 1, where we saw God creating the heavens and the earth in 6 days. And so today we're going to look at the first few verses of chapter 2, where God talks about rest. It says this: "Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done." The very same God that created the heavens and the earth, the very same God that created you, that put the stars in the sky, that knows how many hairs are on your very head, the same God decided that he needed to kick back and rest after 6 days of working. Now, from this passage, I would like to ask you a question and then also present a challenge to you. I want to preface it though by saying that please don't hear this as me, that there's absolutely no judgment here, there's none of that at all. And this is something that I also ask of myself. I'm not just asking you because I'm a youth leader and it's my job. I'm asking you because this is something that I have been asking myself a lot over the last few years. It's a journey that I've been on and a journey that I'm still working on, because we're all human, we're all working on our own stuff. So this is a question that I have asked of myself and that I felt really led to ask you guys. Why do we think that we are superhuman and that we don't need to rest? Why do we think that we can get away with working 24/7 without any rest at all, or without spending a proper day in rest, when even the very God that created us needed a rest? Even God himself was like, okay, let's just chill out for a day. We got this. Why do we feel like that we're immune from that rule? It is also in the 10 Commandments. If you look at Exodus chapter 20, and it starts from verse 8, it says to remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you'll work and labour, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work. For in the 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy, as we've just read in Genesis. I ask myself this question, and I want to ask it of you. Why do we think that we are immune from this golden rule? Why do we think we are immune from the need of rest? Because the answer is we're not. And I learned that the hard way. I overworked myself. And I want to sort of ask you as well, if maybe you're someone that already takes a day of rest. And if so, that's great. I implore you to carry on. And maybe just crack on, as it were. For me, quite a few years ago, quite legitimately, I worked every day of the week. And part of it was because I felt like my value and my worth was tied into how much work I did. If I didn't work, then I wasn't worth much. And if I did work, then I was worth something. And that is incredibly, incredibly damaging and just stupid lies to believe, because our worth is not attached to things like that. Our worth and our value is attached to God, and the God that created us. That's who we find our value in. And if you want to hear more about that, we did a session on that a few weeks ago when we looked at Psalm 139. So feel free to go and check that out. But yeah, maybe ask yourself, why do I think I'm immune to having a day off? Why do I, maybe really reflect on that and ask yourself that, and ask God. If you don't know the answer, he'd love to come alongside you and answer that question with you. And so from that question comes my challenge. If you are someone that struggles to have a day of Sabbath, a day of rest, if you're someone that works 7 days a week, and I just want to clarify, this isn't just, this doesn't just apply to, like a job work. I don't want you to think that you're immune just because you're a young person, because you're not. Homework and schoolwork and college work and uni work is still work. So my sort of question, or my challenge rather, is to all of you, really. But my challenge is, if you are someone who does work every day of the week, who doesn't have a day of rest, I want you to think about how you can change your week and what you can change within your week to make that happen, to make a day of rest happen. And it doesn't need to be really big changes. It doesn't need to be something massive and over the top. But if you realise that, you do all your homework, over the weekend, is there a way that you can split it up so it's over the week? I don't know your life. I don't know how busy your life is. So I'm not going to sit here and give you loads of suggestions, because quite frankly, there's no blanket rule. Everyone is different and everyone is unique. If you do need some support or some help with this, or you just want some ideas, please do get in touch with me or your youth worker if you're not attached to this church. I would really, really implore you to do that. But yeah, just be thinking about what you can be changing in your week. And once you've done that, think about what a day of rest will look like for you. Again, it looks different for everyone. For some people, a day of rest will include turning all electronic devices off, turning your phone off, not watching TV, just spending a day away from technology. That for some people will be really helpful. Maybe for you, it'll be spending a day with God, so reading the Bible and going for a prayer walk, whatever it might be. Maybe a day of rest for you looks like spending time with friends or family, or at the moment, just those in your household, or watching Netflix. Whatever it might be, just explore and really think about what is restful and how can you spend a day resting and honouring God in that way. And I just want to reiterate that us as leaders, we're not perfect. We're still on this journey as well. I am as well. But I really, really implore you, now is the great time, probably the best time for you to be thinking about what your rhythm could look like and what a day off could look like for you, and what a day of rest could look like. Because starting as a young person, by putting these things in place now, you're set up for whenever you either move out of home or go to university, start an apprenticeship, whatever the next stage of life might be. By setting these things up now, you are able to carry those things with you throughout your life. It's so important that we take time to rest. And I really want to encourage you to reflect and explore that over the next few days. If you need any help, please do get in touch. But until then, we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you on Friday. Take care.